Hi, everyone. Welcome. Did you know Africa's Women Day was launched in 1962? Hang on there as we get started. Wow, wow, wow. Did you see the list and what is coming up? We are so excited to be here again live with you talking about Africa's Women Day. Did you ever know about the day anyway? Wow, hang in there. But before that, please share with your friends out there. We are on YouTube, you're on Facebook. Share, and we're going to be having a very big discussion here, actually a history. Sit back, get your coffee. I know it's in the afternoon or evening, wherever you are, because the discussion here is going to blow up your mind, because we're going to know how did this day start for 59 years going on 31st of July. So I'm joined here with two guests, my favorite guests at today and forever. Very grateful to have them here. As you can see, they're all brilliant. Hi, Grace, all the way from Uganda. Can you hear us? I know you had
I
technical
can hear you,
issues.
Joy. I can hear you loud and clear. I'm as
Perfect.
excited as you are. My only problem is that I have very, very little time, but I thought I would come in and give my greetings and share the excitement. And thank you so much for the effort and everything that you have done to add to this event.
Thank you so much. Before even you go further, maybe people are wondering who is Grace Kubayo. Let me hand over as we introduce each other before you go, and tell us how much time you have so that we can give you the most important part of the day.
Well, my name's Kabayo Grace, and I'm the current Secretary General of the Pan-African Women Organization, and I'm also Senior Presidential Advisor to His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni on special duties, especially women and Pan-Africanism. And I have been an activist in the Pan-Africanism for more than 40 years. I joined as a young girl, activism at school. I was the executive director for the Pan-African movement for 5 years. I served on the interim ECOSOC of the African Union, and where we were launching most of the organs that are in place today. PAWO has been key and advocating for everything that is good for Africa, including the formation of the African Union, the revolutionary struggles of independence, the well-being of our people, but definitely highlighting women, the human rights, the equal opportunities, and now we are touching some other 7 priority areas, just to mention but a few. Yes, Joyce?
Yes, yes, we are so happy to have you here, and very grateful to be interacting with you right now. I'm going to introduce Beatrice, and she's gonna tell us a little bit about who she is. Please don't go away, Grace. We still have more questions for you. I would like to give Beatrice a chance, the lady behind the Africa's Women Day coordination with all the guest speakers that you've been seeing on that video. Welcome to the stage, Beatrice Acheleke.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Joy. Thank you for creating the space. Good afternoon, Grace. It's a pleasure to finally meet you virtually on screen. We have had a series of conversations along the line, and we celebrate you and
I can't hear. I can't.
Oh, you can't hear us?
Day, and
we can hear her.
have...
Not enough.
Okay, louder, Beatrice, or maybe put your volume up on your side.
Oh, okay. Poop, poop, poop. Where's my volume? Let me see. So I was saying, I hope you can hear me better now. So
Go ahead,
I was saying, we are very grateful to have you, ma'am, here. We know that you have a very busy agenda, given the fact that you're coordinating events as well. So Oh, ma'am, you're muted.
Hello?
You're muted. We can't hear you. Yes.
I'm requesting that I switch off first, make sure I get my volumes right, and come back in. Is
okay,
that okay?
That's fine. That's okay. Okay, go ahead, Beatrice.
So in the meantime, I take the space that Joy gives me to reintroduce myself. My name is Beatrice Achaleke.
I think we are losing you as well. Hello, Beatrice. Can you hear us? Yes, unfortunately, we are having some hiccups of technology here. As usual, technology is not always on our side. But please, let's hope that we can get all of our guests here, because today's topic is so, so important, as you heard. It's all about the Africa's Women Day that is officially on 31st of July. And if you're there and you can see us, let's hope that the guests can join us. Because we lost some of you. So just to keep you on the top of the discussion today, and I can see she's back again, she'll be able to join us. Can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you, Joy.
Okay, now you're back. Go ahead. We lost you. We couldn't hear you for around 3 seconds or 4 seconds.
Yes, the network is a bit unstable. This is the time of the day when the network is unstable in my side of town. But all the same, we hope that it stays stable. My name is Beatrice Achaleke, author of the Smart Kids book series and publisher of the Ubuntu books. One of the books in the Africa.
Unfortunately, it's breaking, still breaking.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's the network. There's really nothing I can do right now.
Try to log off and log in again and see whether it gets better. Yes, so we're having a little bit of hiccup there of the issue, but we are very exhausted. We have to wait for our guests to log in again. Yes, and as we go on with the discussion for today, but the day is a very important day because we have so much topics to talk about. The history of how did Africa's Women they really came to activity, into action from 1962. And so we were very honored here to have very very, very prominent guests, as you have seen there. And we had the Executive Secretary of Pan-African Women Organization, who was coming here to present her the slide you see there in front of you. She has been the senior president advisor as well, and as I mentioned, executive of the Pan-African Women Organization. We're having some few issues with the technology, but as well as our hosts of Today Together, we were here to give you discussion about how the Pan-African Women Organization started, and so that we can understand the history behind it. But because of the technology, we're gonna see who else is gonna come in. But we are so excited with this day. We have planned so much ahead for each one of you. If you haven't registered with us, check on the platform, Africa's womenday.africa, and you will have all our information about what is coming and the excitement about it. You don't have to wait until 31st. We share with you every day, Ashiro. Yes, and I tell you, we have over 40 vice because they're working towards women in leadership, especially in the political area, in the past, since 1975, all the way until now. So we have counted up to 40. And each day we are sharing with you the prime ministers and presidents, as well as commissioners as well in the area. So Beatrice is one of ours who has been supporting in the background. We have a team working together day and night to bring this program together. As you can see the background, the flyers are stunning. These are all volunteers putting their effort together. And we're so honored to tell you we have at least 5 of the Shiros coming to join us on 31st of July, which is actually on Saturday. It sounds very far, but it's on this Saturday, and we are meeting around 15 hours Central African time, which is the same as the Central Europe summer time. You can join us as well. So let's see who else who is there as well. Let us know where you're listening us from. I can see some of you are writing on the chat. Hi, Mavis. Please let's share. Yes, let's share as much as possible. Yes, someone saying the connection was not good. Yes, we apologize for that. We are hoping we can have more people joining us here so that we can have this discussion. It seems like technology is not on our side. But we are gonna get there. So I can see there's a alert there. But I can see all your comments. All your comments are coming through, and I can see them on this side. So I can see Beatrice is back. Hi, Beatrice. I can see you loud and clear, much clearer than before. Yes, we missed you here. Welcome back. Can you say something so that I know whether we can hear you?
Yes, Joy, I'm back. I hope that the network is stable now.
Yes, okay. It is. So go ahead. I was giving people highlights what we are going to talk today and what we were expecting. But all in all, we hope Grace can also, Madam Grace Kubayo can be able to join us as well. But let's see whether she'll manage to join because she's in the meetings and she's also very busy preparing as well because the Pan-African organization is also an existing organization and they always have events. So I'm hoping she'll be able to join us and give us just a little bit history about it because I was so excited to hear about where does this come for 59 years. Beatrice, maybe you have a small history for us here as you introduce yourself. Take over.
That is correct, Joy. And again, we are calling on the divine feminine African energy to grace this room so that the network stays stable as we spotlight and celebrate the achievements and the legacy of African women in politics, starting with a mother organization that is behind this whole Pan-African Women's Day. That said, I'm excited to be here as usual. My name is Beatrice Achaleke. I am the serial author of the Africa for Smart Kids book series and publisher of Globuntu Books. And at Globuntu Books, we pride ourselves with collecting, documenting, and sharing African stories and history. Can you hear me? Yeah, so one of the books in the Africa for Smart Kids book series is titled Let's Talk About Africa's Female Presidents and Prime Ministers. And for me, that was the beginning of the journey to the discovering and unleashing the political legacy of African women in politics. It's a book that I published in 2019, and I was amazed. I was amazed. First, I knew joy. I knew just 2 African female presidents, and when I went in search from them, one by one, they just popped up, one by one. And I was like, oh my God, give me some more, give me some more. And before I realized, we have 40 on the list from 1975 up until today, 40 powerful women who have stood up to pave the way, make the way for all of us and for the next generation into the political space in Africa. Women who have uplifted the flag of Africa and shown America that women in political leadership in Africa, it's something very normal. It's a daily thing compared to America and some parts of the world. And so I'm so happy that we're here to spotlight and celebrate these women, and also that we're having a conversation with a mother organization that is behind the Africa's Women Day.
Yes, that's very true. I can see the internet still want to be very not so clear on your side, but we are hanging there. We are doing great, and I hope we'll still get you back, even if we lose you in between. And yes, the Africa Day is Africa's Women Day. We are very excited, as you heard from Beatrice. She's the owner of the Globuntu books. Check out on them. She's doing amazing one, compiling history and stories about all these great women and men who have been doing a lot of work in the history side. So yes, unfortunately we are having a little bit of hiccups here with internet. Probably it's a very active hour of the day, and we try our best to broadcast to you wherever you are. We might have to reduce some of the broadcasting, unfortunately, just to make sure that we are stronger on some. If on your side on Facebook, we have left maybe on my profile, we'll be on Facebook on Africa's Women. There you can see our profile to make sure that we are able to broadcast here without issues, because a very important day, we are almost countdown is on. And I can see Madam Beatrice is back. So I'm going to reduce one more. If you be kicked out from my live stream, we'll be coming back. You can watch it on our main page, just to make sure that we have enough broadcasting and enough strength to share our message for today. So if you have been kicked out on my page, we will be also on the Africa's Women Day page. You can also see that as well on that profile, to make sure that we get enough space here to broadcast everywhere. So you're also on YouTube. YouTube is still there, and also on the Facebook as well. So I think that also has made it easier here for us to connect each other. Beatrice, are you able now to hear me well?
I hear you, Joy, and I hope it stabilizes this network. Today is just not a day.
It's technology. Let's play around with what we have to make sure. So let's get the message across today. Tell us a little bit, because now we've lost Madam Kubayo. So how can we share information about the story, the real, how did you know as well that Africa Women's Day was 31st? Also is very important, because most of the people don't know about it. When did you get to know about it? Because I don't think it was 59 years ago you got to know about it.
I am not yet 59 years old, so I can't have known, not even in my nappies, Joy. But I knew about the day in 2018 when I was doing research for the Africa's Female Presidents and Prime Ministers, this book that you see right here. They're all in here. So I was doing research on that book, and then I realized that there's an AU Day. And I got curious, what are AU days? Does AU also have days and decades, like we have the world decades? And so I went on research, and I found a book that is on the African Union, and right at the back of the book, there were all the Africa Union days and decades listed. And I was like, geez, we have an Africa Women's Day. We have an Africa Youth Day. We have Africa Industrialization Day. We have all these days. And if you don't know them, go on the African Union website all of us should know all these decades because they are institutionalized. It's up to us to pick them up and to celebrate like we're doing this one right now. So I knew about that. I came about that day. And so I think I told you this already, that I thought like it would be great to bring all the African women in political leadership in one space and listen to their stories, get their testimonies, get their legacies, see them, and then listen to their challenges, but also their legacy, interact with them, and just share some great moments with them, celebrate them. And so the COVID came and kicked us out of that space, and I kind of said, okay, we'll still have a spot. So when you came up asking me the question in Clubhouse, Beatrice, did you know about African Women Day? I said, welcome, sister. Welcome.
I agree with you. It was such an honor to know, because I was just starting this journey and I was saying, oh dear, this is a new journey for me in the political side, and we wanted to really look at it. And I was always getting excited, all these women and men, sorry, of course men, but the women, the number, and as you know, and you can also tell us then how we came to the number 40 of them since 1975. You have been compiling them. Why? How did you come to the 40? And what amazes you when you are collecting all these 40 executives? I mean, and honorable, and we are so excited about that. Maybe you can share that with us.
It started when I write my books. There's always my grandmother in there. There is my many mothers. I always highlight someone of my many mothers. I grew up with many mothers, typical for us Africans. And so in one of the books, I started by highlighting my grandmother, and I put her next to Mama Winnie Mandela. And next to that, I was like, okay, let's look. Okay, there's Her Excellency said Sirleaf Ellen Johnston, yes. And then Her Excellency Joyce Banda, okay, we know that. Who else is around? And when I stumbled on my absolute favorite, who is Her Honorable Elizabeth Domitian, and realized that she was the very first woman in Africa to break the political glass ceiling and become Prime Minister of the Central African Republic, I was out of this world. It was for me like out of this world. I really got fueled. But I got sad, Joy. I got really sad along the way, because when I went looking for her, there were almost not much evidence of her existence. There was just one or two small tiny pictures of her online. And I was like, this can be. We can't allow this to happen on our clock. That's a woman like that who rose from a basic education of being educated to be a domestic, in domestic science, just learning how to cook and to knead and to clean, raising from there to become a prime minister of a country, being the very first in the whole continent of Africa. And next to my country, Cameroon, I was like, I got to look for more. And this conversation took us. To. Sorry, the phone is ringing, but I'm putting it off. It took me to researching for more, and each time that each one of them surfaced, I was like dancing. I was doing my celebration dance. Give me some more. Who is the next? And I came across the first of Africa's ever president, President Carmen Pereira, in Equatorial Guinea, in Guinea-Bissau. And then from there, I went to Rwanda, Prime Minister Agathe, and then I started looking at the regions. Which region has the more female presidents and prime ministers? And there were quite a whole lot of them. And I'm so happy if each time that each one of them comes up. So today we have 40, and I bet you maybe that I didn't even notice all the 40. Maybe there are more than 40 because I'm still doing research. They could likely be more than 40, but now I'm watching out each one of them that comes up. I know where to go find them. And my personal mission is that none of them should be missing, because these are role models for our children. If we want to transform our continent, we're going to need a balance between the genders. And in order to balance the genders, we need to make sure that we spotlight more female leaders. And again, African women are leading, not just in politics, but in other areas, as we already know. So I will leave it at that for now, but I will answer all the questions that you asked me. I'm hoping that the mother organization will come on board so that we get some more history about how the Pan-African Women's Organization came into being.
Yes, that's very important because, as you say, there he also got to know about it much later, but he also embraced it and found also other leaders and have been. And if you have been missing out on these guys, I'm gonna share with you a link on WhatsApp where you see each day since 1st of July, we've been sharing this each day. A hero, we're calling them as the hero female of heroes. Of a hero is heroes. That's, I have to use that because not everybody understands these new terminologies that are coming up, very gender based. We are finding our space. So there's a hero we share every day with you, giving you information of the particular hero and what they have done. And it's sad some of us them are not there anymore. And if we don't start celebrating ourselves, who is going to celebrate us? And that's the whole initiative. What we are doing here and what we'll be doing on 31st is sharing with you awareness. Do you know about our heroes? And that brings me back because myself, I'm based here in Europe. If you compare Europe and Africa, Beatrice, tell us how, with the women leadership, let's talk about just that. Give us a little bit of history about what is considering the numbers, where should we be looking more and having them as our heroes and other heroes who are not even in the continent. Can you give us that, bring that discussion up? Because I love that discussion.
You see, Joy, we African people, our history is a history of repression and a history of ignorance and how should I call it? Of a history. Yeah. So people would believe more negative things about us. People are likely going to believe negative things about Africa than the positive things. And when you go doing research and you find out that we had our first female prime minister on the continent before Britain had Margaret Thatcher, and that on this continent of 55 countries, we are counting 40 female prime ministers and presidents. Since 1975, we're not talking about cabinet ministers. We're not talking about ministers. We're not talking about women in political organizations. We're just touching the upper office of the political leadership, and we're spotlighting 40 since 1975. Let's compare this to America that has been in existence since 244 years. I mean, it's just last year that they celebrated their first female vice president, and we know the controversy that surrounded that election. And I'm saying, how many of us African women celebrated Kamala Harris? How many of us posted about her? How many of us thought like, this is her? And right close to us, and thank you for raising your hand, I did too, we all did. But so we are quick in celebrating women outside. How many of us are going to celebrate Black women outside of the continent than women who are on the continent? We need to start. I think it says charity begins at home. I want my daughter to connect with where I come from. I want her to know that in Cameroon, we have great women. Even though we haven't had a female president or prime minister in Cameroon, we have had a great women who have championed the Cameroonian economy, champion political discussions, champion science and technology on the continent. I want my children to know, especially our children who are born outside of the continent. They have this tendency of constantly trying to defend themselves, and they don't even have the content. You know, a kindergarten child asked me in Austria, what can Africa even contribute to the world? And back then I find myself thinking like, yes, what can we contribute to the world? And when you go there and you see kindergarten children collecting their old stuff and saying, let's take it to Africa to save Africa. You see young children who pass through you beginning to think like they're coming to save Africa. Let's go do charity in Africa. Let's go do, develop Africa. And you think it has to do with the fact that they don't know the grandeur of Africa. They don't know the greatness of Africa. They don't know what is happening, how much women are doing, men and women, young people. So it is our responsibility as we journey through life to be the ones to hold the pen and the paper when it comes to writing our stories, when it comes to spotlighting our heroes. We should spotlight the other ones because we live in a global world. But I really want that we start knowing who we are. Because, Joy, when you go to the table, the negotiation table, knowing who you are, knowing on whose shoulders you stand, you will hold your head high. You will not be duped. You will not surrender. You will not negotiate low. You will know. So if I'm speaking to someone from the US and they're telling me about gender equality, I'm going to say, I'll bring my 40 Black women on the table and say, I'm standing on their shoulders. On whose shoulders are you standing? Kamala Harris, she just came in. I respect her, but I am standing on the shoulders of women. If we're talking post-independent Africa, since 1975, I have my mothers, my aunties, my sisters, 40 of them standing next to me, in front of me, above me, behind me, below me, and look at me, look at me. What is it that you have to tell me? And from that position, I will have a different conversation on the table than when I think that we don't have anything, than when I think like I have to look up to someone from abroad. So that is where I'm coming from. That's why I'm so passionate about this awareness campaign, to say, let's put ourselves out there. Let's own our history. Let's own our legacy and be proud of it, so that the next generation can be prouder and be have a more powerful sense of self-worth.
Wow, wow. I can really relate with all that. Thank you, Lady in Business Magazine Global. Beautiful. Thank you also for joining us. If you're listening to us, we are seeing you. We can see Raman, we can see Lillian Muller, we can see Mavis is also there. Leave us a comment so that we know you're here. We can see you very well on YouTube, on Facebook, and we appreciate it. And if you have any question in regard to the day, because there are only 6 days left, countdown has started, 6 days left. It's on Saturday, and we are so excited about it. And Beatrice, you just mentioned very important time. We have 40 we can choose from, and I am telling you, I'm still choosing. I'm seeing which one can I relate to, who do I really want. And I think I finally, coincidentally, I have two who actually have a name. They're called Joyce. Yeah. One was from Namibia, and the other one is from
one is from
Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe, and then Malawi. Yes.
Rwanda or Burundi. The Joyce as well. One of them. So and why I chose them, one of them, because of she was a leader. Can you in Zimbabwe, especially Zimbabwe? I hope can you remember the other name? I'm still trying to remember.
Joyce Mujuru. She was in there for 10 years.
10 years. And we didn't know about, but we knew about Mugabe and the others, yeah. But we didn't ever hear about the ladies, and we are not celebrating her. I mean, 10 years is a lot of time. 2 rounds that she went. So I really liked her. And anyway, we share the same name. So I thought that one, I think I'm going to grab her. That's my favorite one. So thank you, everyone who is listening. I can see you're all listening, and leave us a comment, your questions for the day. It's very, very important. How are we celebrating women? And we were, unfortunately, our guest speaker is not able to join all the way from Uganda, and she was supposed to be, she managed to join in the beginning, but due to the network, we've lost her, and she was also very engaged in her duties. But she is the lady one at the moment, executive of the Pan-Africa Women's Organization that is behind and the Africa's Women Day. And we were looking forward to hear the history from their side, where they started, where they are now for 59 years. And they have been doing a lot of work behind screen, of course. We don't so much. She told me about how much they are taking part in all the decisions in the African Union. And because they are actually, they were before the African Union, which came 1 year after 1963. And so there's quite a lot behind that. So maybe on behalf of them, Beatrice, I know you have done your research. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about the PAWO.
I'm not going to venture into those waters. It is not, I'm not. I think that history is so heavy that I don't want to put anything wrong out there. But I want to bring the spirit of Pan-Africanism to the theme that we are. Again, we've been working together since the 1st of July. And our team is a very small team, a team of volunteers, enthusiasts. women and men, African women and men who have a common vision of spotlighting and celebrating African women. And we are in that same spirit of Pan-Africanism that was at the beginning, at the creation of the Pan-African Women's Organization. I mean, you and I were not yet born. I don't think anyone in our team was born at that time. But the way we came together in Clubhouse and what we've done so far is, for me, an evidence of that spirit. You are there in Germany, originally from Kenya. We have Clara from Nigeria. We have Abigail in Nigeria. We have me here from Cameroon, currently in South Africa. We have Raman from Nigeria. We have Mavis from Ghana. We have Benga from Nigeria, based in New York. We have Jabuli from South Africa. You see, this is it. It's like we have Central Africa, Central and West Africa represented. We have East Africa represented. We have Southern Africa represented. And in terms of our speakers, we see that we're pulling again together the different parts of Africa together in this event. And I just think everything around this day, as it was at the creation of this particular day, has something Pan-Africanism. What is the word? Pan-African. It has a spirit of Pan-Africanism in it, and whatever we do, it just seems to follow us. And again, that's what I'm beginning to call our divine African feminine energy, Pan-African feminine energy that is in this space. So I want to give a shout out to our team. I understand that they're online. Raman, hello. We are happy to have men like you who embrace the idea of spotlighting women and celebrating with us. We appreciate the work that you put in. Benga, if you're listening to us, we celebrate you for also being part and parcel of this, a pillar of this event. Mavis, sometimes you have challenges with your network, but you do everything that you can to not miss a session, to organize our social media, our presence. Clara, you're doing all the marketing out there that you can only do. None of us is sleeping. Abigail, you are doing all the flyers. I don't know how many flyers you've done in the last couple of days. You're certainly going to break the Guinness record in creating flyers, all of that to honor and celebrate the legacy of the African woman. And Joy, you are behind the line, pulling the strings, networking, sharing until people kick you out of their groups, but you still continue to share, create the images, take the images from Abigail, put together in videos like we see, calling all of us, organizing the spaces, taking your time. This is the spirit. This is the spirit. This is the African woman that I know. This is the African woman that I knew when I was growing up. Mm-hmm. This is the Africa that I want. And I think if all of us join together and do what we are doing, we are going to leave our blueprint. And I think that's it. It's not how much we change Africa. It's very much about how we change to become better Africans in the process of the things that we do in uplifting Africa. And I think that's what it's so important for me in what we're doing right here.
Yes, thank you so much, Beatrice, for mentioning all that, because the whole idea about PANAF, and we're not forgetting where you also are taking part, and we will go there as you share with us about what you've been doing, because you've been dealing with all these excellencies, organizing them, because you and tell us who are coming, and we're going to be showing you on the screen. They're already confirmed. We have, as far as I know, 5 and more are confirming. These are all excellencies, and they were past presidents and also prime ministers in the past and not long ago, but you will be there. How about that? You being in a virtual event with them. But how can you do that? Register yourself on Africa's with the S, Africa's Women Day, and I'll share with you on the screen how you can register. We have a platform there where you can register, share, so that you are not left out. Bring your children. We want to leave a legacy. We need to also be able to share this information and make sure that it pass on to generations and generations, because as you heard, we are losing so many of our executives and our honorable that are all disappeared with all this great history. And Beatrice is going to work very hard to make sure that we keep all this history. She has a book already with most of the information. You can also join as well. So I'm so excited about that. And everyone who is listening to us, Thank you for contributing. Unfortunately, our guest didn't make it just quickly. She had connection issues, but we cannot underestimate the work of the Pan-African Women's Organization that have done for 59 years, fighting for the women in leadership. They have so many projects that are going on. You can also check out on them on their platform. Their website is a little bit under construction at the moment, but it will be up again. But they do a lot. If you are a woman going into leadership and want a lot of mentorship, they are there for you. And in political area and campaigning for women. Talking about campaigning of women, also it's something that brought into my attention, Beatrice, because you don't mind, I'm going to air this out because it's very important how the role of women are being put out there, especially the African and the Black women. And right now, as you all know, we have all these Olympics going on in Tokyo. And we have seen some of the women who are Black like us, who have been brought up being told we have very high cholesterol levels, that we are removed from the competition. So this is something that we also have to also look at it as well. Why are our women being removed? We have natural way. Why should we be put chemicals or being told to reduce? Then that's not natural anymore. So there's a lot of things going on. I know in Kenya we have Maximila Imala, who was also been withdrawn from the competition. Aneta Negesa from Uganda, I think she's at the moment here in Germany, seeking refugee because finally you get so much negativity from the community, as you know, if they think that you're going on the other side of the LGBT direction. So, but just because of your hormone are going high, so you have to be very, very. We have to protect our women. Some of them are naturally. In Namibia, we also have two young ladies under 18. I remember following up, Christian Boma and Beatrice Masilingi. And they have been withdrawn from because of having high natural, and they put it very natural. And in South Africa before that, we also had Caster Semenya, who had also another follow-up that came up later and also going on until now. Beatrice, what do you talk? We women, especially Black women, we're already having hard time wherever we are at the moment, even in our continent, even in so many sectors. And I know you have done also research, not only in, I'm talking more in sports there, you also have done research in other areas like aviation. Can you tell us a little bit about the research you have been doing and spotlighting these women who have been doing well despite all that? But on my side, I want to salute these women who have been refused to go to Olympics in Tokyo. I salute you. You are women, and we acknowledge you as Black women and African women. From my side, I would want to also mention that there. But I hand over to you, Beatrice, to talk about also other sectors that you have been researching.
Joy, it's really sad. It's really sad to see that women, Black women who can go out there and light the torch and shine the light and uplift a Black girl to be proud, that exactly these women, when they get to the spotlight, the light is dimmed in front of them because of the judgment that someone dares to pass on them without being their creator. It's really sad. But it's also, I would say, part of the conversation or the things that go around with regards to the African continent. I think if we have a mechanism that allowed us to stand up as a collective, we Black women, you touch one Black sister, you meet us all Black sisters. You touch our mother, you meet all of us. We talk about it, even if we can't fight you. We Africans, we will not fight you with violence, but we fight you with our presence, with our words, just standing there and having the back of those people. I'm glad that you brought those young people, young sisters and ladies to the conversation. I wish that we have an Africa that has that sense of Ubuntu, that connectivity, that solidarity, that mindfulness, that that spirit of support, of community, of being there for one another, having one another's back no matter what. I wish that we get that at some point, because we don't have to We are a continent. We can organize our own Olympias. We can have our own Nobel Prize. We can have our own all of this. I mean, we are a continent of 1 point how many billion people. We are the second largest continent in the world. And you see so many people are flogging into the continent. It has to do with what we have. So we got to know, to us Africans, I'm not saying that we are not. I'm saying that we should be doing more. We should be doing more, putting in more to know our continent, to know what we have as a continent, our resources, our riches, our legacy, our heritage, and that we should be owning it and sharing it with the next generation. It is so important. If people know how strong we are in Africa, they will treat us differently with respect and dignity in the global space. If we don't, if as long as we are still not doing as much as we need to spotlight and celebrate what we have, we'll always face some of those adversities out there, because the system out there will think like, who is going to catch you when you fall? You know, we can push you down. You'll fall right deep there. No one is there to catch you. But if they knew that we have that fence that will catch any one of the sisters or brothers who falls, the treatment would be a little bit different. I speak from experience from 20 years of Europe. But that put aside, let's talk about the positives. Yes, I started research on African women in aviation. And I was surprised that within a very short period of time, during a period of 4 weeks, I was able to collect 132 female pilots on the continent. Some of them are military pilots, some of them are commercial pilots, some of them are just private pilots. And the youngest of them was just 18 and a girl. And Joy, the story of that girl, this one is 22 from Ghana. She grew up in a village where she used to see aeroplanes fly by, and she thought like she would love to learn how to fly. But she didn't have the resources, not even the education. And sometimes she eventually moved to town, and then she went into an aviation school, said she wanted to register, and people laughed at her. They just did not give her a chance. So she persistently came back, and then they gave her a job to work as a gardener in the aviation school. She took the job. Because she was so good, they got her into the office. She started doing cleaning. It took just a couple of months until the director of the school realized that this young woman, not only is she good at what she does, not only does she have resilience, but she has the brains. And so it took just a couple of, it took not a very long time of training. And today she has a commercial license. And you know, there's women again who are breaking the glass ceiling, going into men's domains. And one of the things that really turns me off joy is because we are talking about a continent of 55 countries. We are talking about a population of how many billion people, and we still have to count and justify to the world that we have. We should get to a stage where it's just acknowledged that we have, that we don't have to count every single of us as if we need validation from someone, as if we need permission from someone to exist, to be in those professions. We are already in. And so I love the way that we're doing this awareness. Next year, I think it's going to be much bigger, that we spotlight many more sectors. And I want us to know that we stand on the shoulders of very powerful women from pre-colonial Africa, through colonial Africa, women who fought, and to post-colonial Africa, where we're celebrating the political legacy of Africa's female presidents and prime ministers since 1975. We have a very rich history. Start doing your research in your family. How much of your family do you know? Do you know the role of your great-grandma? Maybe during the time of colonization, what happened? Have you researched on that? Your grandma, your ma, your mother, your aunties, what were their role? This is the assignment that we're giving you if you're tuned in. Go home, sit your children down, do research. If you're lucky to still have your parents alive and your great-grandparents, please don't let that history die. Go collect the history. You have smartphones. You have all the instruments that you need to collect those stories. There is no excuse of saying, I'm not at home. You are abroad, you call them, use your phone and record their voice. It's going to be instrumental for your children, and it's going to be instrumental for the history of the continent and the history of the world, because that is all part of the history we're talking about. Joy, over to you.
Love that. I love that. Yeah, I call you the history teacher. Beatrice just throws and share with us a lot of information. I have learned so much. And some of you who don't know, we are also very active on Clubhouse. So like every Wednesday and Friday, we are there and sharing a lot of information. And actually, that's where we came together. Strangers, as you heard from Beatrice, we came together and decided we do this together, make this an awareness. And I like that spirit. Everybody bring their expertise on the table. I think you have big investors. No, everybody is bringing their investor. It's another different kind of mindset. You don't need to have others to come and talk about Africa, because most of the time we relate with other countries outside there in Europe or China or India to talk about our continent. We can do that, and you don't need so much money to do it. Thank you to technology, you're able to bring your expertise together and air each other out. And I love this spirit. You're going to be moving it forward as the time's going. Now we're going to go slowly towards, as we close down. It's almost, you will not believe it's almost 1 hour that you have been here. Tell us about our guest speakers, because I'm so excited about 31st. It's already a few days. Mark your calendar. It's on 31st, which is Saturday. And if you're in Central Europe time, and as well as Central Africa, it's exactly 15 hours. So make sure that you're there, and I'll share with you the flyer so that you can have a look at it. If you see this flyer on your side, that's the day we are hosting the event. Let me make sure that you get all the details. That is at 15 hours to 18 hours. And as you can see, we have very many people, all those lined up, they're all supporting to bring up. We also have a shop where you can buy a t-shirt as well. And with a logo of, as you can see on top of our flyer, there's a logo. You can come and share that as well. So it's such a very, very good platform to be. And this is the merchandise item we are having. And how to get all that, as I told you, check on Africa's Women Day .africa, Africa's Women Day .africa. We have to make use of our everybody .com, .ke, what. This one is .africa. So let's embrace our identity as well. So I'm so excited about all this coming up, Beatrice. Maybe you can, as I share also, as you mentioned, all the people who are coming. How can you tell us, how is the excitement? Who is coming? Who is coming? Give us the names. Give us the names.
Yeah, that's like putting the cream on top of our cake. And before I tell you who is coming, the one lesson that I've learned speaking to this incredible women is that they're so humble. They're so down to earth. When you speak to them, it's like you're speaking to your sister or your mother. I remember when I picked the phone yesterday and I said, good morning, Your Excellency. I'm thinking, like, what should I do now? And she says, hey, B, how are you doing? And I'm like, I'm almost choking. Your Excellency. I said, chillax.
I like that. Chillax, Beatrice. Yes.
And when you speak to them and they tell you, take our greetings and my respect to the team. We admire and appreciate the work that you're doing. And when you tell them these are individuals who just came together, they don't even know each other, and everyone is putting in the effort that they have, the expertise that they have. There is no money in here. No one is paying anyone here. It's just that commitment, that belief, saying that our time is now. And you hear their voices of appreciation. It just fuels you. It's like energy. That it's priceless. Those moments are priceless. So that said, we are very happy to say that we have now, let's go by name. So the first confirmation came from Her Excellency President Catherine Samba Panza from the Central African Republic. What I really love about this female president is the fact that she stands on the shoulder of our very, very first female prime minister on the continent. So she is coming not just for her, but also for the legacy of Prime Minister Elizabeth Domitian. And I'm so excited for her. The second excellence who said yes is Her Excellency President Joyce Banda of Malawi. And the conversation with her was a very hearty one as well. And she loves what we're doing. And she has been in different positions in her political career, not just as president of Malawi, but also as president of the SADC organization. I have to do some research on that. I'm not too sure, but she led one of the SADC organizations. And I remember back when she was still president, seeing some pictures of her, reading articles about her, she dressing, putting her wrap around like a village woman and sitting on the floor next to this elderly woman and sharing with them and encouraging them. And I think these are women of dignity. These are women who have integrity, women who had a vision for Africa. So our third yes comes from her honorable Maria das Neves, from Sao Tome and Principe. She has one of the longest names of the female prime ministers, Maria das Neves Keita Batista de Souza. Those are all of her names. She was the very first female prime minister of Sao Tome and Principe. And last week, she stood for presidential elections for the second time. The first time it was alleged that the elections were stolen from her. When you see the numbers on Wikipedia, you realize that she was very close last year. This year, the prognosis were very good for her, but I was very sad to hear from her yesterday that she did not get in as president of Sao Tome and Principe. But hey, this woman is up and going. She's been minister in her country. She's just incredible. She's been leader of so many international organizations as well. So, and then our fourth one that came in this morning is Her Excellency Bibi Amena, the former president of Mauritius. And this just kind of connects the continent. The islands are coming together on the mainland, and we are celebrating this African Women's Day. And she was one of the women who really got me to relax. She gets you, the way she speaks to you, you're talking excellency up there. She brings you right down and reminds you we're women, and she shows appreciation just like each one of them. And we are still expecting a response tomorrow from Honorable Chair Lady and current Honorable Minister in South Africa, but the first female chair lady of the African Union Commission, Her Honorable Madame Nkosisana Dlamini Zuma. We're expecting a response from her office tomorrow, and we are super, super excited. And Joy, I want to say that we invited many more. And we realized that the 31st of July is a very busy day for most of them. So they have commitment here and there. And we're so honored and so humbled that they're shifting their calendars to show up at this event, given the fact that we are just individual African women and men. We don't have an organization. We don't have a structure above us. We don't have any strong name standing behind us. It's just us with our vision, with our energy, with our commitment, and they're coming to us, and this means the whole world to me personally. So we're looking forward to all the excellencies coming to share with us. We are happy to have our moderator, Amaya Hayakawa, senior presenter at BBC Africa. I have had three conversations so far with her. She is so excited about this day. And this is a woman who is also volunteering. She's not charging us anything. She's volunteering to moderate this day for us. And we're so looking forward to having her. And just before we came onto this session, we have another female volunteer who is very, very close to my heart, who is volunteering to translate from French into English. We will put up her profile sometimes later. And this is just incredible that as we move along like a train, we're moving and just taking people along, people are following, and the crowd is becoming bigger and bigger. The support structure is becoming bigger and bigger. And I think that's, again, the Africa that I grew up in. That's the Africa that we want to see. And that's the Africa that we're putting out to you out there. We're sharing these details to let you know there is solidarity in this continent among women. There is power. There is mindfulness. There is support. We just need to tap into it with dignity, tap into it with a sense of respect, and you see it coming. And we're pouring it on you. What we get poured on us, we pour on you so that we can do this all together, so that we can connect on the 31st and not just celebrate, but create a bond of African women and men who support African women, so that we can build the Africa that we want, so that we can create the future that our children deserve, so that we can earn the respect that we deserve on the continent and in the world at large. So Joy, don't keep me talking for too long. I think I could talk until next year.
I know. You're not the only one. That I'm happy you're sharing us all these good information. So what are you guys waiting for? 31st July, www.africaswomen.day.africa, africaswomenday.africa. That's the place to find all the information. I also shared with you quite a link that you can also follow up all those Shiros we're talking about. So when you come and you see, because I'm telling you, they're all popping up every day. Yes, you're going to be part of this movement, part of it. I mean, I am just so excited myself. When we started this journey, I was saying, oh, God bless us. How are we going to talk to to get presidents on this event? and I was thinking, I'm so humbled to see how humble. I mean, when you aim the sky, you'll always reach there, whichever angle you look at it. For me, this is a win-win for us. We promise we're going to bring you the guests on the table. There you are. Well done, Beatrice. And we also have French translators. So thank you guys who have French speaker. Feel free to come and join us. Some of our guest speakers are French speakers, and we will translate that again in English for those English speakers. So it's a good mishmash of everything, and we're excited about it getting to the next. It's a webinar, and you get the Zoom link. As soon as you register on this platform, you'll see a place to register yourself. Very important. Then invite your friends every day. And it's not just an event. It's a big empowerment day that we'll be continuing with a lot of information as we go on. So thank you, Beatrice, for sharing that.
Joy, let me add one thing before you close. This is a personal thing to me. Today makes it 6 years that I quit Europe after 20 years and moved with my 2 suitcases down here to South Africa. It's today exactly 6 years, and we are doing this event. And next on Saturday, on the same Saturday, 10 Globuntu young authors are receiving the African Authors Award. And so you're beginning to see that this month is my new birth month.
And so many people are celebrating their birthdays as well. I have 2 people who will be celebrating their birthday. If you're there on the day, I'll mention your names and you know yourselves, yeah? And they will be having...
We have to mention a couple of people who are doing amazing work, who are celebrating their birthdays on that day. So I am very, very excited about this. And thank you so much, all the team members, for your commitment. Without you, we wouldn't be here. When people talk, I say the results that you see is a result of collective action, collective commitment, collective vision, and each one of us bring in a small piece from our area of expertise, and we have the results that we have today and the results that we'll have on the 31st and going forward. Joyce, I'm done. Joy.
Yes, I know you can talk every day, but let's give a chance for the others. Yes, some of you who don't know who are working in the background, I'm going to share with you the names. The organization, the African Union Day, we have Benga who is there with us, Subaye who is also part of this, and we are so excited about that. Of course, we have Globuntus, that's where the Beatrice is, and we also have other partners like My Beautiful Africa. Yes, the lady there, Clara, she's here also listening with us, and our designer. Check out on our designer, and she's also on our website. As you go to the Africa's Women Day, you'll find all their links and how to connect with them, because she's a lady I would contact if I would love to have all these beautiful designs you've been seeing around. And of course, we have the Pan-African Women Organization supporting us at the back end, and quite a lot of people, and also gentlemen as well, that they're all coming in. And don't forget, of course, I should not forget myself, African Women in Trade are very much active on this. We started the movement in the beginning, then we onboarded everybody in, not forgetting my mother organization, African Women in Europe. You're all welcome to come with us on this day. We are sharing with this information on a daily basis. You are all excited. It's all about collaboration and empowering each other and pushing to the limits, because when people come together, that's my biggest message for you all. When 2 or 3 people come together, even it's written on the Bible as well, you can do so much. You bring each other expertise and value, you can achieve. And this is one of the things I'm talking about today. This is an example to you, to everyone out there who want to achieve. Grab your people, grab people who can support you, work together. Services to services, not always money to money, services to services. In between, we're also promoting ourselves. As you can see, we're also promoting our products as well. It's part of the whole package, because we all have to be supporting each other. And thank you so much, Beatrice, for being here with us. It's such a pleasure to have you here sharing the history. I didn't even know you knew all this. I only knew that you write books with children, and it's so much. Women, you have so much in your packet, in your box. Yeah, I call the treasure box. When you open that treasure box, you don't know what is gonna come out. But just let them keep talking, the women, and they'll give you all the information and really good stuff. So thank you so much, whoever is listening. As I mentioned, please join us on 31st of July at Africa's Women Day .Africa. We have a lot of information for you. Thank you for being with us. This was a 1-hour discussion. We were hoping to have our organization, the mother organization of the Africa's Women Day, the Pan-African Women's Organization, but they were here initially, but they could not join because of technical issue. But they're with us. They will be there on the day. They're coming to be on the event as well. They will be presenting. The president will be there as well, and you'll have an opportunity to meet them as well as they share their story. But we wanted to give them celebrate them for what they have achieved until now, holding up the women in leadership in politics. So thank you so much. If you listen to these our speakers, we appreciate you all throughout. And I can see I'm marketing African markets in Europe, so you're also welcome to join our platform, African Market in Europe, where we display African products as well. So thank you so much, Beatrice. Unless you have something very important, where are we meeting next? In Clubhouse, right? So meet us on Clubhouse on Wednesday and Friday as well as, but the main day you should be joining us is on 31st, which is Saturday, this Saturday. So I hand over to you if I miss anything else before we close.
Joy, I will not take too much time. We appreciate the time that people have given us already. I will just say this event is a family event. This event is a corporate event. It's a community event. It's not on a Sunday. Take your church community. Take your colleagues from your office. If you're a Black woman, a Black man in the office, bring all your colleagues, whether they're Caucasians, they're whatever, bring them to come learn your Africa right here. Bring your children so that they can come embrace their heritage, so they can come get the blessings of these mothers, these aunties. If you are wherever you are, this is a family event, this is a community event. Bring as many people as you can. Participation is free of charge, so you don't have any excuse. And if you miss it, make sure you find the live stream, but you get the best when you are live with us. So that said, Joy, I'm hoping that so many people will register, join the line, and be part of this history in the making. Thank you so much for hosting this, Joy. Thank you to all the colleagues, and thank you to all the people who join us online.
Thank you, everyone, and see you on 31st of July. Bye for now.